Um, I have put video on the blackboard for you to be viewing while I'm getting my camera situation taken care of. Um, so what is covered is your hand position and how to sit at the piano in those two videos. So I'm going to go forward. I'm going to make some short videos. Hopefully my phone will be able to handle this, okay? So I'm looking at page 9 in my book, and they talk about finger numbers, okay? So basically, when you play the piano, you're going to learn by finger numbers, okay? So if I put my hands together, your finger numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's covered in your book on page 9. Now I have an old edition, so it might not exactly be page 9. Sometimes our pages won't synchronize, okay? So, but it's around page 9. There's a photo of two hands like this, showing finger numbers. But I do it this way just to show you how easy it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your thumbs are 1. So obviously we play the piano like this. So 1s, 2s, 3s, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to play a little game. I'm going to say finger numbers and you have to wiggle them in both hands. Okay, so wiggle your 2s. I'm going to delay a little bit so you have a chance to do it before I do so you don't copy me. Finger 5, wiggle. Okay. 1, 3, 2, now I'm going to start going faster. 4, 1, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 5, 1, etc. Okay? So now I'm going to be more specific with this little game. I'm going to say specific hands, right hand and left hand. You have to wiggle those individual fingers. Okay? So now your brain's going to be working a little harder. Okay? Here you go. Right hand 2. Left hand 4. Left hand 5. Right hand 5. Left hand 1. Left hand 4. Right hand 3. Left hand 3. Left hand 2. Left hand 5. Right hand 4. Right hand 3. Right hand 5. Great. Okay. So I do want to talk a little bit more about hand shape when you play as well. Okay. And I think the video about hand shape and position was really, really good. I really liked it. But one other thing I do want to emphasize a little bit more is that when you play the piano, you have, like, if you look at your fingers, there's a joint here, your knuckle, a joint here, and a joint here, right? And it's great to have all those segments so that you can grasp things, right, in life, build things, hold tools, things like that. But for playing the piano, we don't want those finger things, the joints to collapse, especially the first one here. I don't know. I think some people refer to this as your last joint. I don't know why. I always think of it as a first because it's the first joint that needs to be firmed up when you press the key, okay? So these joints all want to be working together as a unit, right? So you can see, like, if I push against my thumb, nothing's collapsing. I see this a lot. I see the knuckle collapse like that with a lot of students. This first joint is like rubber for a lot of people, especially in their weaker hand. I have a hard time doing that now. I've worked so hard on not allowing this first fingernail joint to collapse. But that's the first breaking point for many people. So when you play a note, right, when you play a note, you don't want that to collapse, especially if you're doing like finger scales. My keys are sticking. That you don't want fingers to collapse when you're moving from consecutive fingers, especially because everything gets thrown off. Okay, so that's one thing to think about. Now, I have a little exercise that I like to do called finger O's. So I use my thumb as a platform and I squeeze. And I'm not squeezing hard, I'm just kind of putting pressure. And I'm like just really paying attention to the fact that these aren't collapsing. Then I switch to my 3. Remember, thumbs are 1. And you can do this a lot. You can do this always. You can do this any place. Squeeze. And that's to firm up your fingertips so that when you play from the get-go, you know, I don't know what it is. When I do this, I get a feeling of strength in those fingertips before I play. Kind of activates my, you know, my memory, like my physical memory, like, okay, yeah, I got to firm up my fingertips. All right. All right. The other thing that the video was great at, but I want to really reinforce that when you put your hands, and they talked about how to, you have a very natural kind of cupped hand shape. I think about like it's like trying to hold water in your hands when you turn and then turn your hands over. Is that we use the corner tip of the thumb, okay? And the photo in your book is really good right here. All right, I know that's just an exercise where they're using the fingertips to scratch. And that's another good exercise when you scratch like this. To warm up, you pull that first joint. Like that, you can do that. You do that on your, like, your legs. Pull it in. So between the O's, firming up that way, and, you know, you want to be... So when you play, you're going to be on the corner tip like that. And it forms like a, I don't know, a letter U or a letter C. But you're not like this when you play. It should be like that. Okay, so I'm going to end this video and come back with some more.